Welcome everyone to another edition of Play It Through, and on this edition it's Renegade, brought to us by Taito and Techno. Renegade is an NES port of an arcade title that's part of a long-running series of games that also includes River City Ransom, Nintendo World Cup, and Super Dodgeball. Renegade is also one of the earliest NES beat-em-ups, along with games such as Double Dragon. So here we go with Renegade on the NES. You can play this game 1 or 2 players, and there is 3 different difficulties, but I'll be playing it on the first difficulty. Now the first level is in the subway station. Now in classic beat-em-up style, you're pretty much going to have to face off against lots of different enemies at the same time. The move that you're going to have to get used to right away is the double kick. You'll press A and B together at the same time and do a jump kick, which will smash enemies, and after only 2, you'll knock them to the ground. Use this over and over again to defeat almost every single enemy in the game. As far as power-ups go, you may have noticed I grabbed a little tiny heart really early on. After you defeat the first 2 enemies of the stage, the third enemy, once you knock him down, what you have to do is jump onto him by walking over him and press down, and you'll jump down and be able to do some punches right directly to the face. By doing so, on an even number of the counter on the top of the screen, you'll get a heart, which is an extra life. You can also get a power-up move, where you use a jump kick to hit an enemy at a specific moment in each level, specific time that all is based off the clock at the top of the screen. You'll do it, you'll get a little P, you'll start flashing, and what happens is, you'll drop kick the enemies and they'll go flying across the screen, and it'll do a lot of damage to them. There's also hamburgers to refill your health when you run into walls with a jump kick at a specific time as well. Here's our first boss of the game, his Jack, and he's pretty easy to deal with. You're going to be using your jump kick, but you don't really want to be directly in front of him once he gets up. Most of your timing with the jump kick is going to be just when he gets up to that first knee or first lunge up, right before he fully stands up. That's when you're going to be prepared in order to deliver the jump kick to him. If you're right over top of him once he gets up, he'll usually be able to either hit you with one of his big kicks, or he'll be able to grab you right away and be able to do a couple of smashes to your face and do a lot of damage. So be just a couple of steps away from him and prepare to do the jump kick. Also, in that level, if you fell off the platform in either of the 2 big subway areas, you will instantly lose a life, as well as any enemy that you knock down there will also die instantly. Level 2, we have to deal with biker gang members, these pink guys in jumpsuits. And they're pretty much as easy as the guys from the first level. You're going to be using the jump kick a lot, just keep doing it over and over again at a distance to the enemies. For the most part, you want to be standing at a specific spot and wait for the enemies for the most part to come to you. As you can see right now, I'm flashing, I grabbed the P. You couldn't see it on screen because I grabbed it as soon as it appeared, but for a couple seconds I was able to knock enemies very far away from me instantly. When you're up close, you can sometimes do a grapple move and throw a guy over your shoulder for a lot of damage. In the second part of the level, you can see there's guys on motorcycles. Stand in one spot and get ready for them to come towards you and do a jump kick right about before they hit you, and you'll be able to kill them in only 1 hit each. After you destroy 5 of them, you get on one of the motorcycles and go on to the second part of the level. In this part of the level, you're going to have to use your kicks on the guys on motorcycles. As soon as they appear, get up to them and deliver a quick, direct hit to the actual person on the bike. You'll instantly knock them off the bike. It doesn't matter if you're on the top or bottom. After only a few, we're at the second boss of the game. The same strategy for this guy is pretty much the same one that we used on the previous boss. Stand a couple steps away from him and deliver the jump kicks as soon as he gets up to his full stance, when he fully gets up to his feet. So when you see him get up to 1 knee, prepare yourself and get ready to do the jump kick. It's going to take a lot of practice to get used to that kick and being able to pull it off on demand. If you want to get used to it even quicker, you can use the turbo buttons, hold them both down at the same time, and you're going to keep doing the jump kick over and over. In the third level of the game, the enemies get a little bit tougher. We have to deal with these female enemies that will either use their purses to attack you, or use whips to hit you. These enemies will actually take 6 jump kicks to actually kill, so you're going to have to hit them a lot more. So you're going to have to knock them down to the ground 3 total times with the jump kicks. Right there, once again, I was able to get the power-up move, which, like I said, is all based on the timer at the top of the screen. Our same strategy is applied to these enemies just like the previous ones. Stand a little bit away from them, wait for them to fully get up, and deliver jump kicks. Sometimes you're going to get hit no matter what because of the way they're angled or the way they're going to hit you. Just take your time when fighting them. Once they're defeated, you have 2 choices. You can go on the right staircase or the left door. The left door will take you against 3 more women that you'll have to defeat, and then you'll beat the level. If you go on the right staircase, you fight the 3rd boss. Either way, you'll complete the level no matter which door you go in. This is probably the hardest of the normal bosses that you're going to face in the game, because it takes 3 hits to knock her to the ground. However, stay away from her as much as possible, deliver the kicks when you can, and once you get 1 kick on her, make sure you're right there in order to hit 2 more rapidly to knock her to the ground. In the 4th level of the game, we have these thug enemies, which are similar to the guys from the 1st level of the game. They have about the same amount of health as the women did in the previous level, though, so it's going to take about 6 hits total with the jump kicks in order to knock them to the ground. This level can definitely be a pain because it's actually a big maze, so you'll have to enter the right doors after you defeat all the enemies in order to progress eventually to the final boss of the game. If you go in the wrong doors, you're either fight different bosses from the game, or end up getting sent back out or go through rooms over and over again. So once the 2 doors open, go in the right door to fight a couple of random thugs. Once you defeated all the thugs, we're going to head into the left door. That's going to take us to a battle against 2 of the Jack bosses from the 1st level. Our same strategy from that 1st level is going to apply. Try to stay away from them, keep your distance, and try to double them up if you possibly can. If you're too close to them, like I was right there, you'll see that you'll get grabbed and they'll deliver some quick hits to you to do a pretty good amount of damage. Just keep your distance if you can, get the power-up move, which will help you a little bit, but unfortunately with these guys, it doesn't do a ton of damage to them. Once that wears out, I only have a couple more hits to them, and then we move on to the next room. So you want to select the left door, and we have motorcycle guys again. Just once again stand in one specific spot, wait for them to come to you, and deliver the jump kick as soon as they get near you. After you defeat 2 of them, enter the middle door, and we have a couple more of the motorcycle guys to take care of. Once all of them are taken care of, it's time to enter the final room on the right for the final boss. The really hard thing about this boss is he's pretty much the same strategy in terms of hitting him. However, never stand directly in front of him. Usually back away, go above or below him when he stands up, so that you're away from him, because if you're standing directly in front of him, he'll pull out his gun and shoot you. If he hits you with just 1 bullet, it's an instant death. So you'll instantly lose a life if he hits you with it. Keep your distance from him, up above or below him. When he comes down, get ready to deliver the hits. Once he's been defeated, it rolls the credits and you've completed Renegade on the NES. Renegade is probably one of my least favorites in this whole series of games. Like I said before, that also includes like Super Dodgeball, Nintendo World Cup, River City Ransom. They were much better constructed games overall, but since this is one of the first ones, they were just kind of getting their feet wet with this whole genre of beat 'em up. Now that we see the end screen, that's going to wrap up this edition of Play It Through. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.